You are now listening to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, episode 233, recorded on August 27th, 2017. Brought to you by Frigid Blast Studios. Welcome to the Checkmate Arcade Podcast, your home for quarter munching fun. And I am battling the enemy within. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
I'm a weak person. Even though I try to keep Amazon at an arm's length away, I use them to sell stuff because they're a better option than eBay. But I'm weak, and I am newly primed MSU hitman Jason Billingsley.
Oh, you got Prime. Oh, wow. Okay. That is surprising, considering the cost per year.
Well, I'm not doing it per year.
So you're doing it only for the game release season, basically?
I am doing it for a 5-month-ish period that we'll get into later in the show.
Okay. Can't wait to hear that reason.
They have a new promo, and I'm weak, and I caved. I get a free trial at first, so
right,
there's that, but then after that, so September to October, October and November, September to October, October to November, November to December, December to January, and then I need to go ahead and pay January to February. So I'm going to have to pay for 5 months.
Okay.
Some of you probably know what the promo is, but Steven doesn't know yet, and it's going to be fun when we finally discuss it.
Does it have something to do with Twitch?
Yes. Because what in the world would be tied to a 5-month period that would be starting now? As everybody...
I don't know.
Well, good, because everybody else is screaming at the podcast, and then Steven's going to find out later.
Okay, fine. Make me wait. Why don't you? Jeez. All right, so...
Oh, and you're going to wait, too, because it's...
What you talking about, Willis? I bet half our listeners don't even know what that is.
Well, yeah.
That's a reference, folks. That's an old reference.
That is old.
Yeah. Anyway, so how you been?
All right, I guess. I have not gotten as much played as I would like to.
Well, I haven't had the variety of games that I would have liked, but I did focus on quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of helter-skelter again. I mean, I did beat one. Well,
okay.
Actually, I did beat one and partially beat another. So.
All right. So, since you didn't really have too much going on in the Magic world, I'm guessing?
Nope.
Right, we'll just get right into it then with our now playing. Alright, so what have you been playing?
Well, I guess the only quick thing with Magic is I got 2 of the 4 commander decks that came out that I wanted. It's the 2 that I wanted. They just released this last Friday as we record. And for some brilliant reason, Wizards decided to short print it, and now you can't find, you have a hard time finding the one you want anywhere, and they're already going for anywhere from $10 to $25 over MSRP on Amazon.
Oh, joy.
With no word if there's a second print run or not. So,
yep.
That was awesome.
Lovely.
Yeah. Brilliant move once again by Wizards, and the print quality seems to be getting worse and worse because there's a lot of people having bent or screwed up cards straight out of the box. So And with it being a short print run, it's like, well,
This is not good.
yeah.
Wonder
So
if
that's
this is their slide into unfortunate irrelevance.
Yeah, I don't know. So we'll see what happens. I mean, everything's kind of in a holding pattern right now because rotation's in a month and we got the new set coming out in a month. So
Right.
everything's just kind of in a holding pattern until then. But so that's the only Magic update. So we'll get straight into the games.
Okay.
Played a little bit more Fire Emblem Echoes, not a whole lot, but I dabbled.
Right.
I'm still in chapter 4.
But you don't really have any changes into your opinion?
No, it's a great game. Great game. I'm liking this. The translation for this game is very well done. There was a tweet that I retweeted, I think, a couple sometime this weekend that was demonstrating how much higher quality the translation was for this versus Fates. I'm trying to see if I can. Maybe I just liked it. I'm not finding it here. It was much better. The translation for this game was much better, and I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a great game, and I think whenever you eventually trade toward it, I think you will enjoy Echoes much more than you did Fates.
Right. Yeah.
Although
I have a feeling.
Although the funny thing is with Fire Emblem Warriors, like the entire game is essentially the cast of Fates and Awakening with adding in Marth and the two newly created characters they made just for the game.
Yeah.
It's
just those creative characters, because you can customize them. It just makes no sense to brand them into their own characters. The fact that you can change the Corrin and the Robin to be vastly different than what they call canon for each of them.
So here's
so annoying.
So here's kind of the funny thing. In Warriors, the Robin that's in the story mode is male Robin. You can play as female Robin, but only in like the side stuff, not in the main story. And then they flip it in for Corrin, it's female Corrin. They've not even shown male Corrin yet.
Odd. Okay.
Well, it's also that way in the game you've been playing still, which I've abandoned. I need to log in to get the free summons or whatnot, but it was that way in Heroes as far as I remember. I mean, it was male Robin and female Corrin. I don't ever remember seeing.
They're both in there.
Oh, they're okay.
They're all in there.
Okay, I've seen female Robin. I've never seen male Corrin, but I haven't kept up with that game.
Yeah, I actually have male Corrin, 5-star gold.
Oh wow.
Yeah, max level 40.
Wow.
I don't like him that much. He's okay, but I don't like him that much. He's a little too squishy.
I don't know.
He's really bad at magic resistance.
It's been so long since I played that thing. It's still installed on my phone, but it's been so long since I played it.
Or was it physical resistance? He's bad at one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Just like Roy, who I now have. He's really good at attack, but man, does his defense and resistance not hold a candle to some of the characters.
Okay.
Of course, I only have 4-star silver on him. So maybe his gold star version is better by a little bit, but probably not. probably not enough of a difference. But yeah, I've been playing a lot of Fire Emblem Heroes. I don't even know why anymore. Half the time
Okay.
I'm not even enjoying it. I'm just doing it for the quick grab some orbs, and then once I hit the 20, then I summon stuff. Most of the time I don't actually get anything good. So, I don't know how much more I'm going to play of that game.
Well, I'm in a holding pattern for Fire Emblem Warriors, and I just wish they'd announce a damn release date. Because I am not a Dynasty Warriors person, but you put Zelda in it, and then you put Fire Emblem in it, and I'm like, okay, I will buy.
Is it targeted for this year, or was it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be this year.
Okay. They'll probably do a Nintendo Direct saying, "Hey, this is exactly when it's coming out soon."
Yeah, I mean they did a bunch of streams for it at Gamescom. They've done a bunch of stuff for it, and the amiibo are tied to it. And they're supposed to be coming out. It's because it's.
My guess would be sometime in November.
Well, yeah, maybe, because this is supposed to be one of their big 3 Switch games for the fall. I mean, it's literally.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's probably going to be in November.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mario and Rabbids and Mario Odyssey and Warriors. That's like their big.
Yeah, that would make sense then if it was one every month.
Well, there's not one in September right now, but.
Oh, wait. Was Rabbids August?
Rabbids is coming out in 48 hours as we talk.
Ah, okay. Right.
We'll get into that later on because I have the list of all the games that have come out in August and are coming out through the rest of the year, at least to retail.
Right, yeah.
There were a couple of digital ones from this month that I added in, but...
Well, I mean, if they're big enough,
Yeah.
Makes sense.
All right, so moving on to the Vita. I played a cross-buy game on Vita. I pre-ordered a cross-buy game on Vita.
Yeah, I was actually surprised to see this on the list of stuff.
Well, everybody's been talking about this game, and I wanted to play it, but...
I mean, it's a good game. It's a really good game.
I don't know yet. It has not hooked me. Okay. I am not impressed yet, but I've played it
Not impressed by...
Well, I should say first, it's Undertale.
That's what I'm saying.
Well...
That's what I was getting. I was like, we didn't say the name of the game yet.
Yeah. I don't know so far. Like, I've played the game for... Well, the save file says a lot longer because they pull that Far Cry 4 thing of wait right here, I'll be right back. And I was like, did this come out before Far Cry 4 or after? Okay,
I believe it did come out around the same time, but no, it didn't take any inspiration from that one.
Okay, because I actually did sit there and wait, and I would get random, messages. And then literally after a couple hours, I was like, okay, it's obvious nothing is happening here. So let's progress onward.
Wait, so there's actually more than just 1 or 2 messages from Toriel?
Yes, there's like 6, 7?
Wow. Okay.
Maybe 8?
Huh. All right.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
I guess that was just an Easter egg then for people who stood there.
Yeah. All right, so I'm through the first area. And
have you left the ruins?
No.
Okay. Once you leave the ruins, that's where everyone says it starts to pick up a little bit.
Okay. Because right now I just see this game being a try-hard. It's like, oh, we're so indie. I played through Earthbound when I was on a bender, and I'm just going to be so indie.
Keep going till you get past the ruins and start meeting some of the real fun characters that are there.
Okay.
Once you meet Sans and his brother, Papyrus, it gets a little wacky.
Okay. Like I said,
depending on whether you're going pacifist or, murder everything?
No, I didn't try to murder. I was trying to go pacifist, but I think I may have messed up on the first boss. So, the ghost.
Oh, right, Napstablook.
Yeah, so maybe...
Wait, so you're saying you killed him?
Well, I attacked him until his HP went to 0 because I couldn't figure out how to, none of the options.
You have to like compliment him.
I tried that.
It's something about his hat something you liked his hat or something like that, from what I remember.
Okay, so
he's really shy. That's the hook for him is he's just like incredibly shy. He can't take compliments very well, so he's like, oh god, no. You're complimenting me, help me. I need to run away.
Okay. So maybe it picks up. They've put out a lot of updates for it. Like, there's literally been like 5 updates. They're all like, yeah, minor stuff and text fixes. And they're just like, okay. All right.
I mean, it's a long game, and you definitely want to have it bug free.
Okay. But anyway, yep. So I played a little bit of Undertale. So gave the Vita some love.
When you beat Napstablook, did you gain a level?
I don't remember.
If you gained a level, then your pacifist run is completely shot.
Maybe I did.
I might actually suggest starting from the beginning, because Napstablook is actually not that far in. He's like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes at most.
This is right before you get to the whatever her name house is.
Toriel.
Yeah. If we're talking about the same thing.
It's maybe 45 minutes at most.
Well, I'm just going to play.
It's really not that long.
All right, well, I'm just going to play it, and whatever happens, happens.
All right, you won't get the true pacifist version ending for it. That's going to be the only difference.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just playing through it, so, because everybody talks about it, so I want to at least play through it, but yeah, so far not impressed.
You'll start to see some of the charm, hopefully, once you pass the ruins.
Thank God this was just $15 and not some $40 thing like I Am Setsuna was.
But a tip, try every single command other than attack multiple times if it doesn't seem like one thing is working or the other. Because sometimes it takes a few shots with whatever command.
Yeah, I was trying, but...
If it seems like the text is changing in any way, you're probably on the right track.
Okay. Alright, moving on to PS4. A couple quick hits. I played a little bit of Gwent. I haven't played it in a while, but I did play some Gwent. And I've played a little bit more of the Mega Man Legacy Collection, specifically Mega Man 4. I'm trying to go through and beat all the Mega Mans on there, get the trophy for each.
Right.
I never beat 5 or 6, like legit on NES. I beat the first 4 on NES. I don't think my rental store in Southern Illinois ever carried 5 and 6. Maybe it did. Maybe I just never
Those
got
were
around.
Actually the ones I owned. I still own those, actually.
Yeah, they're fairly valuable because they have the shortest. Well, they have the shortest print runs other than 1.
Well, those were the ones that I played the most just because I owned them.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting. Most people, that's the least.
I owned them.
Well, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, I understand that. I'm just saying that it's a nice dichotomy that most people have reverse of what most people have, because like you said, you own those, whereas most people owned, 2 and 3 for most people. I mean, they're the select few that were able to look past the cover for 1, which I was one of them, although that was a rental.
Right.
I never owned 1. I beat 1 on a rental once I found out the Checkmate trick.
Yeah, the power of that cover was the most repelling thing possible.
Oh,
because
yeah.
of the art. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I never even would have remotely touched that game because of that cover.
I mean, I saw what the game actually looked like from, like Nintendo Power or whatever, so that's how I knew about it. But I was just, even then, I was just like, this doesn't look anything like.
Yeah, it was like maybe 10 years after that my rental store closed down that I even knew anything about the original game. Because I only really knew anything about 2, 3, and 4, and then 5 and 6 when I got those as Christmas gifts.
Nice.
So, I got pretty good at 5 and 6.
Yeah, me and my cousin were playing 5 a couple years ago, and I was struggling mightily. I think it was because he's got, his NES hooked up to his HD TV with no frame meister or anything, so I'm sure there was lag being introduced, and that was probably the issue.
Yeah.
Because I think I'll do better with the Mega Man collection on,
Probably.
Yeah, because it's remastered to work properly.
On HD TVs,
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with older tech. It doesn't always work with the new stuff.
All right, so I also, because it finally went on sale, and this was a couple months before they announced the physical version, which we'll get into later, I got Friday the 13th on PS4.
Okay.
I've played a few games of it, and it's fine. It's a decent little multiplayer game. It's no player unknown battlegrounds, but
or Dead by Daylight.
I don't know. Like, that got a physical release, and I don't have any friends that play that. Whereas I have a bunch that own Friday the 13th. I just haven't gotten to play it with them.
It's the problem is Friday the 13th is really buggy.
It's not as buggy on PS4 as it is on Xbox One. I've heard that.
It's still pretty buggy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not perfect on.
Well, I mean, the fact that there are people who are willing to break the game just to quote unquote win by letting. How long is the match timer?
Like 15 minutes, maybe?
And by wasting
20?
By wasting 15 or 20 minutes of people's time by not letting Jason kill them in a fair fight by glitching to the top of structures and stuff like that. Kind of annoying.
Yeah, so I've only gotten to play a few matches, but it played fine when I played. I need to play it with some friends instead of random people, but it was all right.
See, there's the catch. That is the key. It's only good with friends.
Right. I mean, it's something to where this was the first, and I was like, well, this isn't getting a physical release, so the first sale that came up for it, it was 10% off, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get it. And this was right around one of the GameStop trade-in weekends or something too. So I went and got it, and then a month later, like, physical release coming, and I was like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, if you had asked, I could have actually told you there was a physical release on the horizon eventually.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been slightly cheaper, but just the fact of having it and then the ability to trade it in. But
right.
But oh well. But
I think it also comes with a bunch of DLC as well for the physical version?
Yeah, I'm sure that'll be just a code, and I'll figure out some way to get one.
Oh, no, I have no doubt.
All right, so we'll see if I play some more of that here sometime soon. I completed finally Batman Telltale Season 1.
Oh, okay.
And you can watch those episodes on youtube.com/MSU Hitman. Because cool. I streamed it on Twitch and then uploaded it to my YouTube. Right. So I beat
I'll throw
episode
that in the show notes.
Yeah, I beat episode 4 and 5. Just in time to start Batman Telltale Season 2, Episode 1.
Oh, okay. So, second season.
Mm-hmm.
Any major differences, or just kind of similar in mechanics and playstyle?
The coolest thing is that choices matter. Like,
that's what Telltale has built their empire on, but yes.
Yes, but what I'm saying is the difference between Walking Dead Season 1 and 2 and Batman Season 1 and 2 is night and day.
That's kind of hard not to be better than Walking Dead Season 2.
Well, I'm talking about, like, primarily, if you wanted to, you wouldn't have the connection to Clementine, but there's not really a whole lot of stuff that carries over between 1 and 2 of Walking Dead.
Yeah.
A couple characters, but there's not like how somebody views you or what condition Alfred is in or what condition you're in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like there's physical damage to characters that carries over if you bring your save over.
Okay, but does that actually impact the story?
Yes.
Or is it just
impacts
sort of side content?
No, it impacts the relationships of the characters. Like, I was really good with Jim Gordon, and we're just buddy pals, and we're teaming up to take out crime in Gotham, and crime rate in Gotham's the lowest it's been in years, thanks to newly minted Commissioner Gordon and Batman.
Okay.
And we've got a nice little partnership going. Alfred is physically fine from the events at the end of season 1, but, is a little mentally shaken up. Meanwhile, Bruce Wayne is missing a chunk of his ear.
Oh, okay. Well, alrighty.
Yeah. So,
not sure how to transition off that one.
Right. So, yeah. So, there's a lot of stuff, and then also what this game does, it also measures your relationships based off the choices. So, like, me and Jim, what happens with you and Jim Gordon. What happens with you and a new sibling of a major character that's introduced, like the relationships there and choices like Alfred's mindset, all of these things change based on your decisions over the course. And it even in the game says, well, here's your relationship with this person, then this person, then this person, and this person. So that all varies depending on, and you can actually see the difference. So,
okay.
So it's much more interesting. It's much improved on how they have transitioned from one season to the next. Now, I have not played, even though I own all the episodes, I have not played Walking Dead season 3 yet. So I don't know how all that translated, but. And I bet that's going to be a pain in the tuchus because the save is from PS3, and I'll figure that out later because I need to get that off my hard drive.
So yeah. Seems like maybe you should have started on PC with those, huh?
No.
No?
No, I like my trophies, thank you.
Alright. Just saying, it wouldn't be an issue for your save transfer, that's for sure.
Well, it wasn't for Batman, because it was the same system.
Okay, same system is not the same thing. Generational system gaps are a different thing entirely.
I know. I'm taking the tease, my anti-PC bias is showing.
Uh-huh. Well, if my arm wasn't killing me constantly, I'd be playing a hell of a lot more PC games. Low graphics setting, intensive stuff, but still. I don't exactly have a high-end graphics card at the moment. So it's not very powerful at the moment. So it can't really handle things like, lawbreakers and such.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with that, so. Alright, finishing up PS4, I played a little bit this weekend, last night, of the Call of Duty World War II beta.
Oh, okay. So.
Mm-hmm.
Is it as good as it looks?
No.
And as good as most people are saying it is?
No.
Really?
I will just reference the conversation that me and Flesh had on Twitter with some famous Call of Duty YouTuber.
Okay, so for also reference, his name is Flesh Ribbon. That's his username, just so people know.
Yeah. Sorry. Yes. But yeah. Yeah. Sorry. So, the Flesh Ribbon and I had with this Stonewall Tabor Hill.
Okay.
100K sub Call of Duty YouTuber.
I've never heard of him.
Okay. I've read mostly positive reviews for Call of Duty World War II beta, yet I hear a lot of people say it's being ill received. Are you enjoying it? He put up a Twitter poll. Flesh Ribbon's response: have not liked the return of the Call of Duty corner/prone camper, lag comp, reduced customization, or SMG focused gameplay. I chimed in with also add in horrible spawns and quick scoping. Which Flesh Ribbon replied, yes, I made a video where the guy who killed me again immediately after respawning. Need to upload to YouTube. Yeah,
okay.
I was lucky at some points because there's only 2 maps right now. I was lucky if I was able for some points, I was lucky if I was able to take 10 steps out of where I spawned before I was already under fire and or dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you were pining for the days of Call of Duty 2 or 3 or World at War with better graphics,
well, let's not be crazy. I was never a huge fan of World at War. It was good, but the weapons really didn't do anything for me.
Okay,
I didn't really enjoy most of those weapons.
Well,
but I figured, okay, it's Treyarch, or not Treyarch, it's Sledgehammer doing this version. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they can make the guns a lot more fun. Maybe they can make the gameplay a lot more fun.
No. Not in my estimation.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah,
well, unfortunate to hear.
You'll be able to try, or, people on Xbox will be able to try it out the following weekend as we record this. I'm going home to visit family, so that's why when I have a code, even though I have the Xbox version pre-ordered to play with you and all the ragtags, I redeemed the code for PlayStation so that I could play it and be able to talk about it on the show. Because once again, I'm going to the land that broadband forgot, and Call of Duty beta does no good.
Right. You only had the one code then?
Yes, I had the one code from when I pre-ordered my copy.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay. So you can pre-order it for whatever system, and then they just send
Yeah.
you a code for
On your
system.
On your receipt, you get a code. You go to the Call of Duty website, you log in, you put in said code, and then it asks you what system are you wanting to play the beta on, or what system do you know, and then
right. Okay.
I clicked PlayStation and I got a 12 character code to put in to download the beta from the PlayStation Store. If you put in Xbox, you'll get a 25 character code to download the beta for the Xbox next weekend. So
5x5s.
Yep. So yeah, so I redeemed the code for PlayStation specifically so I could play it and talk about it on the show because, as I said, I'm going to be gone.
Right.
I'm going to be away from internet. So,
any good points?
pretty. Oh, I forgot. It's pretty. Oh yeah, I forgot another thing. Shotguns are way overpowered.
From the gameplay I've seen, it's not quite that crazy.
Oh.
It's the fact that the incendiary shells are so powerful.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, just wait till you died one hit to a bunch of those a lot.
I mean, they let you on fire, so
yeah,
it's.
Oh, and they did some stellar voice work on the death yells for that thing.
Oh yeah, I heard one from a couple videos that I watched. Oh boy, that's they went really overboard on that, didn't they?
Yeah, they sure did. Yeah. So, yeah, I am just not impressed with this. Like I was really enjoying the campaign of Infinite Warfare, and I mean, it was, it was futuristic or whatever, but I never got into the multiplayer of Infinite Warfare, and I'm just like, really? We're back to this? We're back to running around and getting shot in the back? And
I mean, that never really left the franchise.
Yeah, but you had more room to maneuver. Like you had, like now we're stuck on whatever paths that I can jump to or.
Well, okay, so the mode that you got was the war mode?
No, there was multiple modes in the beta. I just played deathmatch. There was deathmatch. Was war even in there? I don't even remember if war is in there. And
I know the one where you're taking different sections of the map and then escorting the tank is in there.
Okay, I didn't get to play those. There were like 4 different modes in the beta, and then there was like the random button.
Right. Okay, so now that I know you stuck with TDM, the spawns make a little more sense being a little crazy.
Yeah, and maybe there's another map that opens in one of those other modes. I don't know. I mean,
well, I think there are maps that are specifically made for that escort the tank mode and it capture the areas and then move up with the tank mode.
Okay, possibly. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
because I don't know that I don't know that I've seen too much of TDM. Really? From the people I watch?
Yeah, I was hoping that, oh, what's the one where the dog tags drop? That was
Kill confirmed.
Yeah, kill confirmed. I was hoping for that, but that's not in there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you'd think that they would focus on that one because it is I guess TDM is still the mode along with domination.
But playing this, I was just sitting here like, when is freaking Battlegrounds getting to Xbox? That's all I was thinking of playing.
You want to talk about people camping? There are some people who camp in Battlegrounds.
Yeah,
you go into a house, you don't know they're there. You turn a corner, and they shotgun you in the face, and you're done. And you're back to the start. you know, you have to be really, really cautious and careful with how you enter structures, how you clear rooms and such with Battlegrounds. It's a very different game, but there are some things that are universal. People camping in corners is one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, there's nothing fresh here. Like, I own Battlefield on both systems. I just have never gotten to play multiplayer with anybody, and I would much rather do that than just another Call of Duty. It's just like, there's nothing new here. It's like, this is a prettier World at War.
They changed up how the perks and everything function a little bit.
That all's just Black Ops. I mean, the only thing that's different is the classes and what special ability each class has. None of them are medic, so...
Right. Well, I mean, because that wouldn't make any sense with the recharging health.
It happened with Call of Duty 3.
Was there recharging health in Call of Duty 3? How fast was that recharge?
I'm sorry. It's been a decade since I played that multiplayer. I honestly don't remember.
Fair enough. But vastly different game would be my guess.
Well, you could still revive people, so. Yes. Like, you would down somebody, and then you had to, like, a down person would last a bit, like they could shoot you with a pistol. But the medic could come and revive them before they fully died. You had like a 10 or 15 second timer to do it.
But they didn't have like a handgun or anything like that?
What, the people that were down? Yes.
To shoot while they were down?
Yes. Yes, they
okay,
would.
Okay, whoa. Slow down. Okay, that's something that people have complained about for years, and they never want to see that again. They don't want to see down but not out with pistols anymore. Ever. Period. Not in a Call of Duty game. That's something that they have adamantly stated over and over again. You will never see that again. Not unless they make some seriously drastic changes.
Alright, well, whatever. I'm one of the weirdos that enjoyed Call of Duty 3, so.
Well, I mean, that sounds very similar to, the second chance mode from World at War and a couple others. You could be revived in one of those, right?
Yeah, World at War, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, all you'd have to have is somebody run up to you and then hold X.
Yeah, somebody that was a
and
medic.
That would get you back on your feet.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it was even if somebody was a medic, if it was just anybody on your team.
Okay, it's been so long.
There might have been a perk that said, hey, you can revive somebody from second chance mode, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't think there was something specific about that.
I don't remember for sure. It's been too long.
Yeah. All right, but so not as fun as you hoped, huh?
No.
That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm just counting down the days. I'm like, can we get a release date for PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds on Xbox? That's because
they're saying this year, but who knows?
Because I would much rather play that or Battlefield or Titanfall or Overwatch or anything else than a higher res World War II with no down but not out.
Yeah. Speaking of Overwatch, played a ton of that. A ton of that. To the tune of my skill rank from last episode. I was in like the 2200 range. Now I'm 2400 plus on my skill rank.
Okay.
So I think I'm close to getting into platinum. I'm currently solidly in gold, so I think I'm like right near the edge of leaving gold and getting into platinum.
Nice.
So that'd be a pretty good accomplishment for the last 2 days of the ranked season before they make some serious changes in the interim between season 5 and season 6 now. Because they got a bunch of changes coming up on the docket. They're going to be changing around how Mercy plays a little bit. They're going to take her res and make it an actual active ability instead of an ultimate, which is going to be insane when they do that. Because they've caused some chaos on the public test server for the PC. She's a little overpowered at the moment for the test realm.
Oh, wonderful.
Well, that's why they put it on the public test server, so that they can test these things. It's like, that might be a little too much. Let's tone this down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're looking to change up how people function with the resurrection, because they don't want people holding on to it forever until they can get like 4 or 5 man reses.
Right.
Because that's just like, okay, well now you're hiding in a corner with your mercy res, and you're not actually helping your team. So you can't swing the tide of battle as minor, but better in the long run by actually healing somebody, as opposed to a quick 5 man res or 4 man res, and that turns the tide of the battle for a few moments if the team is not, horrible. Because then after they've recovered from the fact that you've rezzed them, if they're good enough, they just focus everybody down and then they're back to 0 again. So, hopefully those changes will go over well. But those will be long time before they get to the console for the moment. Because they're not even finalized. And then they got a bunch of changes for D.Va coming up as well. Adding in a few new abilities. You can now fly around and shoot your guns, as opposed to just flying and then stopping and shooting your guns, which is a very helpful ability.
Okay.
And then she's apparently getting some mini rockets. That'll also be another new ability, which would be nice because you kind of can't really do that much actively with D.Va if you're not using your defense matrix. There's kind of not much else for you to do other than fly towards people and run them over.
Mm.
I mean, you shoot your guns, and you never have to stop shooting your guns because they don't have to reload. It's one of the reasons I love playing as D.Va. But, hopefully the new changes for that will be fun, too. Also, the Summer Games event was going on for the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
So the return of Lucio Ball. They made some changes to it. Lucio's ultimate no longer has like a gravity effect on the ball, drawing the ball towards you anymore. All his ultimate does now in that mode is boost everything you have. It boosts your speed, it boosts the ability of your reflect ability. So it reduces the cooldown of that to basically 0. So you could just spam that out like crazy. And if you do that on the ball goes much farther than if you just hit it with your punch, which is your normal fire, essentially. It's fun, but not a mode I would go back to all that often. I was sad that I missed it last year. After playing it this year, I'm a lot less sad that I missed it last year. But I was able to get all the achievements that they had for it. So, yeah, I'm alright with that. So once I literally completed all the achievements within 24 hours of first playing it. I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't ever have to play the mode again. And that was back like 2 days after it released. After it was reintroduced. I was like, oh, okay. I guess for the next 2 to 3 weeks, I don't have to worry about Lucio Ball anymore. But they did add in a new map. It just changes the scenery. Doesn't change how the mode functions in any way. So instead of the one map, there was 2. Fun, but not something I would go back to. They reintroduced all the old Summer Games skins that you can now get for a much reduced price. They also added a bunch of brand new skins. Man, some of them are really cool and some of them are really weird. Like, the fact that Reaper is now wearing like a bunch of biker gear, like an extreme sports BMX guy. And he has a cape. It's a little weird, but sure, why not? But yeah, it's fun. I liked the fact that I can now get a bunch of those skins that I missed the first time, and a couple of the emotes that I missed the first time around. So, I actually I've already gotten out of the boxes quite a few of what I already missed from last year, which I was very happy about.
Okay.
But yeah, having fun. Just having lots of fun with Overwatch.
Cool.
I believe we were both playing a little bit of a game that was free for a weekend.
Yes.
There.
Yeah, that is true. On Xbox One, us along with Aha Scott played some Diablo 3.
Yes, indeed. It was one of the free with gold weekends.
Yep.
So since we all had gold and we all thought, hey, Diablo 3 is awesome, let's play some.
Yeah.
So we all downloaded it and played it. It was actually free for much longer than I thought it was going to be, because it was free until like Tuesday night or something.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday morning, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Diablo 3 on console.
Yeah, the correct way to play that game.
Well, the correct way
Yes.
is not how I would phrase it. I would phrase it as it was incredibly fun and it fit quite well on console. They did a very good job of making it very good on console. Now, because I haven't played it on PC in probably about 2 years now, I can't say what the differences were specifically between PC and console, other than the dodge roll.
Yeah,
but,
dodge roll's great.
But they apparently had done some work to the console version, because now the gems have their own section and they don't take up spots in your... Oh, wait, no, the gems, I think, take spots in your inventory, but crafting materials don't.
Right.
Which was a very good change. Unlike another game that I was playing. So the three of us went and started new characters on a normal playthrough. Man, normal is way too easy. It's like, I was never in any danger of dying in any way, shape, or form. So, I think, what was it? You guys were playing... I can't remember your classes. I know I was playing the Crusader.
Yeah, you were doing the Crusader. I think I was the Demon Hunter. Yeah.
Think so.
Yeah, because I was the Wizard. I'm the Wizard on PlayStation, so I was like, I don't want to be the Wizard. So I was female Demon Hunter.
And I think Scott was the Wizard.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So we were running around with a motley crew for the three of us. Don't remember where we stopped.
A little bit before the Skeleton King or whatever. A little bit before that.
Yeah, I don't think it was too much before that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay, now I remember exactly where we were. Yeah. Yeah, it was, we were just about to go hit the Skeleton King for that one. Because I actually went back once I thought the free weekend was actually over, but then discovered that it wasn't. I'm like, I'm gonna start a monk. So I started going through solo as a monk. And I got way past the Skeleton King.
Oh.
I was already on the second half of that act.
Okay.
So, yeah, I was running around towards... can't remember what that second boss is, but I was on my way to encounter her. So, I'm remembering how much fun it was to play the monk. Because I haven't played the monk class since I first tried playing it on PC and got all the way to the end of the game proper without the expansion DLC. So it's been fun going back with that. But yeah, that was basically where I stopped with that. But yeah, so much fun. Such a good loot game. Unlike Marvel Heroes Omega. Which, man oh man, just that inventory limit makes a huge difference. And also the fact that you have to pay way more money than you should have to for all your characters. That's an annoyance. So by the time I did finish the story mode, and then I prestiged Hulk, which resets everything back to square one, and you can't wear the gear that you had been wearing up to that point, because you're back at level 1. So all the level restrictions are back in place. The only difference is you get to keep your powers. And that's it. So what's the point of that?
Yeah.
Literally, what's the point? There's no point. That makes no sense.
To get the achievement for doing it however many times you have to do it.
Yeah, there's I think it's twice or 3 times or something like that. And I did it once, and I'm like, hey, achievement, because I'll take an achievement. Yeah, so it's so stingy with achievements, because half the stuff is esoteric stuff of get X number of characters to level 60. Prestige X number of characters. It's why?
Because we couldn't think of anything else.
I mean, they have end-game content. And then they add in prestiging characters, which resets everything. Except the powers. It's just, that's so dumb. And because when you prestige, when you hit level 60, you actually gain access to an ultimate ability, which is unique to each of the characters. Hulk, which was the character that I was playing, had the Gamma Blood or Earthbreaker or something like that. Some weird name where literally the entire screen's floor becomes gamma irradiated, shooting out gamma rays.
Okay.
Due to Hulk being so angry that his gamma radiation was just overflowing and cracked the earth. So fun. I'll grant them that. That ability, super fun. But it has a 10-minute cooldown. So, wasn't going to be using that often.
Right.
But it's just the gear was never really all that interesting. It never really did anything all that different or unique. It doesn't change your appearance in any way, because that's exclusive to the skins that they sell for real money.
Oh, of course.
I did earn enough currency to get one of the low-cost characters, and was about a little over halfway to getting Captain America again. But, going through the story mode again did not exactly seem like something I wanted to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's exactly the same storyline and leaves off on exactly the same cliffhanger as the PC version. Because their story mode is not actually finished. And stuff in it is bugged and glitchy. And I don't appreciate that. And yeah, so once I prestiged Hulk, realized I couldn't keep any of the stuff that I had on, I just went, yeah, okay. I think I'm done. And then I promptly uninstalled the game. Because, I don't really need to keep playing that when I had Diablo sitting in the wings.
Right.
At least for that free weekend. And then once the free weekend was over, I'm like, I got Overwatch, I have Stardew Valley and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm good. I don't really need to keep playing that game. It was mildly fun the first time I played it on PC. Not exactly that fun when I played it on console a couple years later.
Mm-hmm.
Lost a little bit of its luster. So, there's that. So, what else were you up to on 360? Wow. Xbox One.
All right, so the last two games that I've played, I got back going into my franchise in Madden NFL 17, trying to beat it before 18 came out. Ended up failing that. I'm on week 16 of the regular season, so essentially I would have 5 more games to play, counting the Super Bowl, to win the Super Bowl, and pretty much that would be about, as far as I would go in Madden 17, because Madden 18 came out, and here's where Twitch gets ya.
Oh, okay. That's what that was about.
Yes, that's what that was about, because for
you and your Madden Ultimate Team obsession.
Yeah, because for every week, starting for Madden release week, going through the Super Bowl, this week you actually got 2, but it's going to be once a week now, every Saturday, you get an 83 rated legendary player for Mutt that if you put enough Twitch Prime tokens into, you can upgrade to a 90 overall.
Huh. Okay.
And in the game this year, having 83 overall ratings is an 83 rated card is pretty good because they toned down the ratings. Silvers are only, golds are only 70 to 79. The elites start at 80.
Huh.
So whereas before elites would start at 85. So now, those cards are, really good. Like, so they gave me a card and they gave you 5 tokens when you linked your Prime account with your EA account. And it takes 4 tokens to upgrade a player. So I upgraded the first player to a 90 overall. And then you have to try to bank the tokens or watch their Friday Twitch streams to get more tokens to save up. You will not be able to upgrade all the players. You will have to make choices as to what players you upgrade.
Yeah, so that's kind of their free-to-play hook, I'm guessing?
Well, that's just the hook.
Because that's just how it works in every free-to-play game.
Well,
you're never going to get enough currency to upgrade everything.
Right. It's just, it's their one way of keeping it from being completely broken. Getting a bunch of free, legend players. Normally legends you only get from certain packs or you just randomly pull.
Oh, wait. Okay. So it's not a restriction on how much you pay. There's literally just X number of upgrades.
Yes.
Okay.
They gave you 5. It takes 4 tokens to upgrade a player. They gave you 5 in the first pack. every pack that comes out every Saturday now from here through through the beginning of February, Super Bowl weekend, there's only one upgrade token in there.
Okay.
So right now I have 2 upgrade tokens I have not used yet. In a couple of weeks, I will have 4 tokens and enough to upgrade a player of my choosing. If I wish to upgrade, the player I just got Saturday or the players I get the next 2 weeks, or if I just want to wait and see, because you don't know who the players are. They don't reveal the players until these Friday night streams on Madden's Twitch.
Okay.
So I signed up for my free trial of Twitch, and now I'm going to have to pay for, I was counting up September to October, October to November, November to December, December to January, January to February. So I'm going to have to pay for 5 months of Prime so that I get all these free players.
Well, I mean, you're also going to get that bonus 20% off video games, so.
Which is now only on pre-orders.
Right.
And it's not on collector's editions, and it's not on Amiibo. And almost all my upcoming pre-orders are completely paid off in GameStop credit.
I didn't know it wasn't on collector's editions and stuff like that.
That change happened this summer. And then just a couple weeks ago, they removed as long as it's only been out for 2 weeks, they got rid of that to where now it's only pre-orders.
Yeah, that I heard. Which, annoying, but kind of understandable.
Oh, you want to know what the other thing is? There's certain games that they refuse to put up for physical pre-order until about a week before they come out. Amazon did not have physical copies of Madden available for pre-order until about 10 days or so before the game came out.
Yeah, I think that's also another oddity, which makes no sense.
Which they're also doing for WWE and NBA 2K18.
Okay. Well.
All right, so I am enjoying MUT so far. They've done some things. They've tweaked. A lot of these tweaks are making it closer, I think, to what it's like in FIFA. But they have a level system. As you play games, you level up. And when you level up, sometimes when you level up, you can buy special packs. And one of these packs has a player that you can just constantly keep upgrading until you get him to the max level that you can. He starts off rated like 73, 74. Eventually you can get him to a 91. There's also, and there's challenges. It's kind of it's kind of the stuff you unlock more stuff to play as. The other thing is tying into Long Shot. You get a bunch of cool stuff and fairly high rated stuff for beating Long Shot. That's where they try to get people. That's the hook this year is for people that have, don't normally play Madden. They played Long Shot. And then they'll get it'll be like, hey, you got all this stuff for Ultimate Team. Why don't you log into Madden Ultimate Team and put this stuff in your lineup? Oh, do you want to play more scenarios from Long Shot? They're available in Madden Ultimate Team. Just put your Long Shot players into your starting lineup. I know. I'm sorry. I know you don't like this, but this is...
No, I don't follow enough of it, so I don't know anything about much of it.
I know. I'm trying to stay. This will be the only time this year I go this deep into it, just because I know that this is just.
It goes right past my head because it just does nothing for me.
They've done some cool stuff with how the offensive line is rated and their awareness and how that plays. So that's really cool. You can't just hold Y as soon as the quarterback lets the ball go to intercept a pass. You have to actually time it now. If you hold it too long, even if your guy gets a hand on it, he'll drop it. Let's see here. Other quick hits. before getting to long shot itself. I mean, basically the thing this year is this is the year of, okay, we've got a really good foundation. Long shot is kind of our new thing. And we have the Frostbite engine, and everything else is just quality of life tweaks. It's like, let's fix this, let's fix this, let's fix that, let's fix all this minor stuff that people have dinged us for over the years, and have the main new thing be long shot and the graphics engine.
Right.
So the big thing, long shot, is the Madden story mode. And it is probably, I would put it right there with NBA 2K14, probably a little bit better than NBA 2K14. It is the story mode to beat now for a sports game. Now, to be fair, I have not played FIFA. So that one's supposedly really good as well from last year, and that carries on to this year. So having not played FIFA, long shot in its first iteration is already better than all the 2Ks since this gen started.
Well, I mean, with some of those 2K storyline games,
16 is the really bad one. 14 is fine. 15's okay. 16 is blah. It's just not well thought out. And 17 seems to be okay. I've not watched much of 17. But this is already better than almost all of those. It's got some football people in it. It's got known actors in it. I mean, you see all the animation and like the facial captured, like they show when you beat it, they show some of the behind the scenes of them recording the lines, and it's just like, why couldn't you put this work into Andromeda? Like, why is the female lead of Andromeda look so much?
Because those are different teams.
I know.
Vastly different teams.
I know. Because when you see the actress for Andromeda and, what came out as Sarah Ryder, and then you see the male version, which is almost dead on, you're like, wait, what? How does that work?
Because there was only so many hours in the day.
I know. Andromeda, may it rest in peace. May Mass Effect rest in peace.
For now.
F Anthem. I'm already boycotting Anthem.
Oh my god. Why are you so anti-Anthem before you even know 100% of what's even in the game?
Because they're throwing away, they could treat it like No Man's Sky and actually, work on the game, add the DLC to keep, not make me have to buy a comic to find out what happened with what you teased.
Okay, you're giving EA way more credit than an indie studio. That's not how EA works.
I know, but
they put out a game. If it doesn't sell, it doesn't get at least X number of people playing, minimum, or X million on the returns, they're done. They cut it and go on to the next thing. That's how they work.
I understand. That doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
Right. But that does not mean you have to immediately disregard another game from the same studio that brought you said game that you really like.
Well, because they're just chasing after the Destiny Division game as a service pie, because EA wants a game as a service just like Ubisoft and Activision have. And Vanilla Destiny was crap. Vanilla Division was okay. I'm not getting suckered a third time with one of those games.
All right.
Just count me. Just wake me.
I mean, it looks like more of a loot game than Destiny was during its first year.
Wake me when Dragon Age 4 is officially announced and there's a trailer. Wake me then.
All right.
But anyway.
it doesn't make any sense why you're not willing to at least give it a chance. I'm not saying you have to give it a big chance. Just a chance.
Because because I don't appreciate that they're dumping a game that has been one of their biggest franchises for the last decade just so we can
Until the end of 3.
Andromeda.
In which everyone got all up in a tizzy about.
And there were things, yeah. And then,
That's the reason that it got put into the locker for a while.
Andromeda wasn't as bad as people make it out to be if it just had a little more TLC to it. There's a decent game there.
It got released way too early.
Yeah.
It was not polished enough.
No.
They did not put it out when they put it out way before it was completely finished.
Yep.
And when that happens, it gets a bad review.
Yep.
When it gets a bad review, people go, oh, that game's bad. Wholesale. And then they ignore it. That's just how it works. In a couple years, when people realize, okay, it actually got patched up and it's a little better, it's not going to be a top tier game that I would say would be one of my favorites of the generation, probably. I'll know for sure when I play it later on.
Well, they've already said there's no more patches.
Right.
They've done their last one. So.
I'm just a little busy with other games at the moment, and I'm really, really hyped for Destiny 2 right now.
No. Yeah. Speaking of things that I'm just, ugh. It's fine.
Well, you didn't play enough Destiny 1.
Yeah.
You don't have the same level of love for it that I did.
Yeah.
Which is understandable because you didn't play as much.
Yeah, I played vanilla and I was like, what? I played vanilla when I didn't have an Xbox, so.
Yeah. Were you were done with Madden, right?
Well, so Long Shot, I did beat Long Shot. Okay. So yeah, let me just finish up Long Shot.
Because I'm like, well, let's get us back on track if we're not already done with it.
Yeah, so let me just finish. Long Shot is really good. Like, it is, outside of the sports comparison, it is worth playing through for a lot of people. I'm not saying someone like you go buy a $60 copy of Madden to play it.
God, no. I wouldn't even know where, I wouldn't even want to because I'm not even a fan of football in the slightest.
Right, but what I'm saying is people that are okay with football but are not like, I'm going to play Madden. People that like football but aren't Madden players, I think, should take the time to play the story mode. It's well written. It's well acted. It is a fun playthrough. It's about a, 4 to 6 hour-ish playthrough, depending on how many times. There are certain sections where you have to complete something. If not, it just restarts you and says, yeah, you need to beat this.
Right.
So, I mean, it's well acted. There are choices. There are alternate endings, although the alternate ending is not a huge difference. But there are, 2 different endings. And it's fun. And I kind of wonder, given what they've done with FIFA and they're continuing with the same character, I kind of wonder if they're going to continue with these characters that are introduced in here, if they're going to carry them over to a second year. I don't know. It would be interesting to see if they carry this over into another year or not. But it is well done. They did a good job for them never doing anything like this outside of FIFA. They did a really good job with Madden. And if you like football, but you're not a diehard Madden person, try to find some way to play the mode because I think you will enjoy it.
Okay.
And about a third of the game's achievements are tied to Long Shot. So there's another reason to do it.
Well, if you're still achievement or trophy hunting,
right,
yes.
But you'll get a decent amount of trophies and achievement points for playing through Long Shot. So, Yeah, so that's probably going to be something I play quite a bit here in the little bit. I have spent some real life money outside of Prime on stuff. Yeah.
Can you feel my gaze?
Yes. I have already spent more money this year than I did last year.
Oh boy.
I don't think I'll be spending any more though. And I think with all these, ones I get for free every week, I think I'll be good. And I actually played 2 games online against humans. I won one and lost one. I won one really big. I won one 41-11.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was proud. I was like, wow, this is the first online game I've played of Madden, that I've won in like 7 years, like since sometime when I beat Sean from the Ragtags. That was like one of the last times I played Madden online. Because all he was doing was griping about my connection, so I just quit playing it online. I would play the single player Ultimate Team stuff, but I'd never play another human. And now I have a good connection. I can actually play humans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird how a connection that's stable and, fast enough
and not DSL
makes a difference, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, I can actually play the game as intended. So yeah, I look to have some fun with that. And that is everything I've been playing.
Alrighty, well. Let's do some of the quick repeat ones just so we can get those out of the way. Played a little bit more of Gears of War 4. Not a lot. We got to the next chapter with me and Scott. Because I'm currently only playing through the story mode in co-op on hardcore, which is the second highest difficulty.
For Gears?
For the Gears 4 story.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm only playing that with him, at least for now.
Gotcha.
Just because I'm like, I'd rather discover it with him, even though he's already played it.
Yeah.
It's a little more fun that way. But since he does have a part-time job, it's not always easy to know when he has free.
Right.
So we'll have to...
Or me with my 2.
Yeah. Which is another larger global issue for the entire country. But I'll not try and get into that.
Right.
Let's see. Yeah, just played through the story mode. Not really much else to say about that per se. Other than those windstorms. Whew. Man, those windstorms. There's a couple sections where it's gets a little crazy with the lightning and the lightning that'll kill you almost instantly. Yeah, but the only stuff that so far I'm like, I could probably have done like without that specifically in that entire game so far. But we've encountered the Locust-esque enemies now in full force. So we're getting into that story. Alright, so let's see. We talked about Diablo 3, we talked about Overwatch, talked about Marvel Heroes. Let's do Stardew Valley on Xbox One. I am now in fall of year 3. I almost made it an entire year in-game without talking about it since last time. That just shows you how much I've been playing it. Yeah. Because each of the months is only 28 days. So, in my head, the logic and saying this just sounds so weird. But I'm now married in the game.
Yeah, okay.
It just sounds so weird to say that out loud. I don't know why. I don't know. That sounds really odd and weird to me. But I went and married Leah, the artist, in-game.
Yeah, okay.
And I now have a son.
Okay. Is that an automatic thing, or?
No, that's a thing you have to make a decision about. It's like, hey, do you want to have kids? It's like, sure. And then one day it just, hey, your wife is now pregnant. It's like, oh.
Is it something?
Okay.
Is it something where if you say no, then it's just no forever, or?
I don't know. I think it might just be something that gets asked like once a year, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. But it was asked, and I said, there's an achievement tied to having 2 kids, so sure, why not? So 2 kids and a wife. The American dream. So yeah, that's kind of the biggest thing. Other than I finally went to the Calico Desert for the first time a couple seasons back, in-game seasons. So I finally discovered what's up with that area. There's a lot of hidden depth and a lot of weird little side things that if you didn't know were there, you'd completely miss. And it's kind of crazy how packed and just super filled with things in every possible conceivable corner of that world is. I'm currently almost at level 100 in the mines. I don't know the exact level that the bottom of the mines is, but I'm more than halfway at almost 100, so we'll see what happens when I hit level 100 in the mines. But it's definitely getting much harder because the enemies are getting much tougher. Yeah, that's about it. Finally hit my 1,000,000 in-game gold.
Okay.
Got my achievement for that.
Cool.
Saved the community center, so now it's all pretty. I got my achievement. I actually didn't get my achievement for that, which was odd. I'm wondering if I have to talk to like the mayor or something to trigger it. I'll have to figure that out for the next episode. But I've just been making a bunch of friends with the townsfolk, trying to get my heart friendship levels up for everybody. Because that gives you cooking recipes, and they sometimes will send you gifts. Which, stuff for free is nice. So that's about it for Stardew, as I will continue to keep playing until I get at least the majority of the achievements that I know I can get. But there are 2 achievements that I will never be able to get. Because there's this in-game top-down shooter that you can play at the saloon. It's an arcade cabinet that you walk up to. It's free to play in the game. So I walked up to it a bunch of times, and it's like, it's a top-down shooter, but it's really tough. And I can't seem to get too far in it. So there's an achievement to beating it. And then there's an achievement for never dying while beating it. So yeah. Don't think I'll be getting those 2 achievements ever. Alright, so, I guess that takes care of all the repeats other than one last repeat, but on 3DS, where I continued to play some Pokemon Sun. I am now on the second island of the Aloha region, or Alola region. For some reason, I kept thinking it was Aloha region, just because Aloha is an actual word.
Right.
But yeah, no, it's Alola. That's their play on Aloha. Because literally, that's their in-game word for hello.
Okay.
So, they really went all out with their aping of Hawaiian culture and words. But I finished the first trial on the second island, so now I just have to go figure out which direction I have to go next. I'm still not 100% sold on every one of the Pokemon that I'm currently using, because I caught a Slowpoke early on, and it doesn't seem like it's really suited to be the water Pokemon that I should be using, because most water moves are special attack moves, but my Slowpoke is a really good physical attacker. So, stats don't really match up for that. So I'm kind of like iffy on a couple of the Pokemon that I currently have, but I'm not quite ready to commit to swapping certain ones out yet. So gotta keep playing around with that, figure out what's up. But yeah, still very, very much enjoying Pokemon Sun. Alright, so that brings me to the new stuff. 2 new games, other than the free weekend for Diablo, which technically wasn't really new. But we'll do the true brand new game, which was a beta last month for Destiny 2.
Yeah.
So
I actually played the single player story mission.
Oh, well, so that you forgot that you played the beta.
Yeah, I did until I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. I played that part.
So what did you play it on? PS4,
Yeah.
Xbox One?
Yeah, I downloaded it for both because once it became free, but I forget stuff was going on, and I was like, okay, let me at least just play through it on, I guess, PlayStation, and I'll get through the single player story part so that I can at least talk about it.
Okay, good. So then we can talk a little bit about it. Yeah, so basically the single player level is what seems to be the opening mission just after the tutorial, I'm guessing. But could also be the tutorial level as well. It's a little unclear. Because some people were saying that there was a mission just before that for people who have never played Destiny 1. I'm not entirely sure, but it's the Homecoming mission. The beta also included the Inverted Spire Strike, and then 2 different multiplayer modes.
Yeah.
So I played everything.
Okay. I played just...
I checked out every single thing. And you played just the single-player story mission. So, what'd you think?
I mean, it was fine. I don't have the comparison of being able to reference House of Wolves, and whatever the second expansion was, and Rise of Iron, and Taken King. So, like, just going from, vanilla Destiny to this, having, like, the head people actually be characters now that talk and stuff, instead of just being there to turn in quests to, that was a nice thing, and they all have different personalities, and that was, that was a much better experience, but this just seems like Destiny 1.5 to me.
Well, they were definitely headed in that direction with Taken King and Rise of Iron. So, they've definitely hit their goal of making Destiny into the game that it should have been back when we first saw what Destiny could be. So they finally hit that. They finally hit that goal.
Okay.
Some of the actual changes, though. There is no longer special weapons and heavy weapons. They're now primary, energy and, what's the power weapons? So, the energy weapons are essentially just primary weapons with elemental effects added on, but they are different. They do function differently, at least for how they interact with enemy shielding. If you match the element to the enemy shield, it does take it down a little bit faster. But when you hit them with the correct element and you actually drain their shield to 0, it causes a small localized explosion that can stun other enemies in that vicinity. So that's one change that they've made. The power weapon change is odd, because now snipers are no longer secondary weapons. They take up the power weapon slot, and it seems like they're more powerful, which is good, because if you're not going to be using them as often, they kind of need to be a little more powerful. But that also includes things like fusion rifles, rocket launchers. I've yet to see a machine gun, but I had to kind of assume that they're in there somewhere, just because it would be odd to not have those. They've also added in a bunch of new tweaks and such to how the different classes function. Each class now has a class-based ability. And that ability is the same for every single one of those classes. So a warlock will have an ability to throw down a rift. Now the rift can do one of two things that you choose. It can heal, or it can enhance your weapon damage. A titan can throw down a barrier. Now the barrier can do one of two things. Again, of your choice. It can be a large, super tall, super wide barrier. Or it can be a waist-high cover barrier that if you duck behind and use your trigger to aim, you'll actually pop up and be able to shoot over it and have cover. And then if you pop back down and pop back up again, it automatically reloads your weapon.
Okay.
So it's a fun little thing like that. And then the hunters have some abilities that are not exactly the most exciting. They have the dodge maneuver. Now, again, the dodge has two functions that you can choose between. You can either have the dodge automatically reload your weapon, or you can have the dodge, if you're close enough to an enemy, recharge your melee and your grenade much faster. So you get a boost to your ability recharges. So that way you're able to take the enemies down faster. I'm not exactly sold on the hunter abilities, just because they seem a little bit meh, as opposed to the Titan and the Warlock. What did you wind up playing, by the way?
What's the one with the golden gun?
Hunter.
Yeah.
Okay, so you went with the Hunter.
Yeah. Well, I was familiar with.
So, did you have an opinion on the dodge maneuver?
I couldn't figure it out.
It's a double tap of your crouch, I want to say.
Okay, so it's not the ultimate. So because the default ultimate was not the golden gun. It was something else.
Right. Okay. So yes, that's another new thing that they added. Each class now has a new super. At least one new super. For Warlocks, that was the Dawnblade, which it takes the place of Sunsinger. For Titans, it was the Sentinel, which takes the place of the Defender. Although you could still use the Defender's bubble if you held the button instead of tapping it when you pull out your super. And then for the Hunter, that was the Arc Strider, which takes the place of Blade Dancers. So yeah, if you actually went to the menu, you could switch between the different classes. Or subclasses, I mean. So, yeah, the default was they wanted to show you the new abilities first on those two. So Warlocks and Hunters started out as Dawnblade and the Arc Strider. Whereas the Titans, for some reason, they started out as Strikers, if I remember right, which was odd. But, sure, whatever. So yeah, if I believe it was you double tap either crouch or double tap reload, and that does your class ability. But yes, for the super, it's a little different. Instead of getting a small handheld blade that's charged with electricity, now you get a staff that's charged with electricity, and you move around a little bit faster, and you do a lot more like combination moves, as opposed to the arc blade, the electric blade, which was just you tap it and you do the attack and that's it. You swipe and you're done.
Okay.
So there's a little more depth to those, which is nice. I'm trying to get a little more of your opinions on it, because I actually would. It's very interesting to get someone's opinion who doesn't really know a lot of the intricacies of how the game currently functions.
There was
for Destiny 1.
one section in the mission that seemed to bog down quite a bit, where the AI was stupid enough that it wouldn't chase me underneath. It was after it was when I was outside the, it's when I was outside the alien mothership, working my way inside it. And there was one section where I could go shoot some guys for a bit, go hide under this ramp, let stuff recharge, go and rinse and repeat until they were dead. And I was kind of like, okay, well.
Was that the section just before you get to the yellow health bar guy?
Possibly, yeah. I mean,
which was right before the generator.
Yeah, and then the generator was like, it was a little unclear on what to do. Like, I kind of stumbled around trying to figure out what to do to beat that, but I eventually did.
Yeah, that could have been a little more clear. When they say, hey, shoot the turbines, it's like, okay, where are the turbines exactly? Oh, after a few seconds, the thing pops up and tells you, here's where the turbine is, but doesn't exactly say that, oh, you should jump in there and shoot it.
And then, you better dodge too, because it kills you.
Yeah. Yeah, the, that generator section was a little bit of an annoyance, even on my end. Another thing that changed is how each of the classes feel when they jump, except for Hunters. Hunters feel exactly the same when they jump. But Titans and Warlocks do feel a little bit different when they jump, which is both good and bad. Good in that it functions the way it probably should have functioned from the beginning. Bad because now I have 3 years worth of really bad habits that I can't break. They've also mentioned that they took a lot of the feedback from the beta into account, and the supers are going to charge a lot faster now, along with the grenades in single player hitting for way more damage than they currently did in the previous beta. So for the final release, the grenades are actually going to kill decently health-wise enemies here. So that'll be helpful. So you just played through that single-player mission, whereas I went through and did the Inverted Spire Strike. It seemed like a strike. It was a little more open, whereas you can tackle things from various different angles. There were different levels that you could jump on for certain sections. So it's multi-level areas that you can traverse. There was a section where it was very open, a very open battlefield that you had to run through. So it was pretty good. It was pretty good, and pretty good first strike. All right. So as for the PvP multiplayer, the map that they were showing off for Control was a little bit on the tiny side. I wasn't really enjoying that map specifically just because of how small it was. And there really wasn't a lot of different paths you could take per se. It was just a lot of close quarter fighting, and occasionally the spawns would not work in your favor. Occasionally they would, and you'd spawn behind someone that you could kill very quickly. But, yeah, every once in a while, you'd get a spawn where, there's like 1 second before somebody comes around a corner. So, it's never a good spawn.
Yeah.
It's like, that guy came around that corner. Oh, now I'm dead. Huh. I guess I'm waiting to respawn again. So, like I said, map was just a bit small. They have said that they're changing that for the PC beta this coming weekend. So, I don't know. Maybe they've taken enough of the feedback into account that they're going to change that map a little bit. I don't know. As for the second PvP mode, it's a brand new mode called Countdown. Countdown is basically plant the bomb. So you have one team that is defending and one team that is attacking. The attacking team has to plant the bomb or kill the enemy team to win.
Okay.
That's literally it. It's basically exactly how every other attack defend mode where there's a bomb involved works. So imagine Counter-Strike, imagine everything else. What else? I really enjoyed the map that they were showing off for that one. It was a nice wide open map. Had a lot of really good sight lines, really good flow to it. That map was perfect. I really enjoyed that map a lot. It was a really, really well-designed map. I could definitely see myself playing Countdown a lot, just based on how much fun that was. Yeah, it's there's not really much else to say about the modes themselves. The loot pool was very limited. There was only a very, very small subset of weapons in the beta. So, yeah, there's not really much else to say about that specifically. They've taken out the intellect, discipline, and strength stats.
Okay.
And they've replaced those with the basics of your armor, agility, and what was the third one? Armor, agility, and recovery. Armor is obviously the thing that makes you harder to kill. Recovery is the stat that boosts your ability to recharge your health faster. And agility is still the stat that does mostly nothing unless you're strafing side to side in a gunfight. That's about it. It does not actually make you faster, per se, unless you're strafing side to side in your gunfights. Or walking. But if you're sprinting, it does nothing. If you're jumping, it supposedly raises your jump height a little bit, but you kind of don't really need that. So that's still one of those stats that's like, you could do better than this. We'll see if they eventually do something with that or not. Probably not, but we can hope. But yeah, it gave the glimpse of something that is definitely going to be far, far better than the first game was overall. That's for sure. Which is exactly what a beta should do. I did play through the story mission with every one of the characters, and I played a little bit of PvP with each of the characters as well. So I played through a little bit as Titan, a little bit as Warlock, and a little bit as Hunter. So I had a decent chance to check everything out.
Okay.
So that's pretty much it for Destiny 2's beta. And we're right around the corner from Destiny 2's release, which is really exciting.
I'm glad that you're excited.
I'm super happy. It's been a long time coming because I haven't touched Destiny in the past month. Soon as that beta hit, and I played that beta, I'm like, I need to try and break some bad habits. Let's not play Destiny 1 at all for the next month. So,
yeah,
been trying to avoid that, and so that left me a little bit of free time to do other games, like finishing up Marvel Heroes Omega, and a lot more Overwatch for my multiplayer, which is how I'm currently in the 2400 SR ranking.
Okay.
And a whole lot of Stardew as well. On top of this final game. The one that I believe my intro hinted at, hopefully successfully.
Yes.
Yes, I was playing XCOM Enemy Within for the Xbox 360. Although I've been playing it thanks to the wonderful addition of backwards compatibility on Xbox One.
Yeah, gee, finally, you're playing XCOM, where we could do multiplayer.
Yes, that's a thing. But currently I'm just doing single player, because that's where the majority of the gameplay actually is.
I know, but it would be fun to go against each other.
I mean, I guess. I don't know how powered up you got your characters by the end of the game that you hit, but I think I'm still kind of in like the mid game at the moment.
Well, I never played Enemy Within. Like I beat Enemy Unknown on PS3.
Mm-hmm.
I got part of the way there. I had a partial playthrough on Enemy Unknown on 360, and I bought Enemy Within on 360, but I don't even know if I ever started a campaign on it. But you don't use your team. The multiplayer is you have a point cap, and you select up to 6 either human or alien troops of whatever class, and each class has a point value.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, you don't use your single player stuff at all. There's a point cap, make a team, and then then you're dropped on a map, and it's just 1v1.
Oh, okay. All right. So for those who don't know, XCOM is a turn-based, I guess, RPG, because you are leveling up.
Strategy game, yeah.
It's a turn-based strategy RPG, because each of your characters that survives, and that's a very important thing, levels up. Then you're also researching alien equipment that you find on the battlefield, and if you can capture thanks to a few little items. 'Cause you are severely outgunned when this game begins.
Yeah, Enemy Within is way harder than Unknown.
Yes, but also no at the same time, because apparently they rebalanced the normal and easy difficulties to be just a little more forgiving, especially in the early game.
Well, they didn't do that on the PSP version, I can tell you that.
I said
Or the Vita, I meant.
And the key is a little bit easier, because I've lost so many soldiers. And when your soldiers die, that's it, they're dead. Unless you have a save from way before they die, they're kind of gone. So I'm not currently playing the save scum every turn kind of mode, just so I can rewind in case anything goes bad.
I usually save before each mission.
Yeah, if something goes absolutely 100% catastrophic, like my entire team wipes, then I go back. If I lose a team member, I can kind of be okay with that, especially now. Now that I have a bunch of the equipment upgrades and such, because then I can just train up a new soldier to replace them right away. Thankfully, I currently have at least enough soldiers to cover for anybody who gets hurt and has to sit out for a while. So, as the game progresses, you'll encounter various aliens from various different species, I'm guessing, that are trying to invade all at the same time. I'm guessing it's like it's like a Cabal-esque situation.
They're all maybe it's never exact. They are all one force. They are not different factions. They are all one force. Now, maybe they were at one point different species that got, they were forced into servitude against their will and had their free will wiped,
I'm guessing they're conquered species from other planets that were just conscripted into their army.
Yeah, there is a single thought, there is a hive-like mentality with them.
Yeah, there's a singular focus of, hey, take over the world.
Yes.
And do it however we can. But, man, they are, they're brutal when they hit you with their weapons.
They can be, yeah.
Yeah, first time I encountered the Thin Men, that didn't go so great. First time I encountered the what was the next one that comes up? The ones that strangle you, those stupid robots. Thankfully, I was able to do Overwatch, which is a quick reaction shot in case anything moves in front of your line of vision. I was able to do that and able to save my my team from those things. But man, I hate those things so much. Because those things stealth as soon as they see you.
Oh, just wait until you get to the chrysalids.
The chrysalids. Those are the alien bug things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no, those things are just absolute bastards. Oh my god, I hate them so much. And they take so much damage to kill.
Yep. And anyone they kill zombifies.
I know. I actually did a mission where the entirety it was just crystalids. Barely was able to even get to the evac zone as the bombers came in. Because there are new missions in Enemy Within that were not in Enemy Unknown. So, because of that, they added a few new achievements into it and such. Just sort of been motoring along, trying to build up my scientific reason. The game is really simple to understand how it functions, but man, is it not easy, even if you understand that. Because you have to take into account line of sight, cover, the random dice roll that the game tries to completely screw you over with because you have a 95% chance to hit something and it decides to, hey, nah, miss. 95%. And it still missed. 5% chance to miss. So good. But as you play the game, you're controlling a bunch of human soldiers. You're their commander. You're given the various orders of, hey, move here, go into cover. Each movement takes 1 pip of your movement bar and your action bar, because you only get two moves per turn. So you can either move, shoot, or just shoot, because shooting immediately ends your turn. Until you get to the later, like, class abilities and such, because sometimes you can break that mold a little bit, depending on what kind of class your soldiers have leveled up into. There are 4 classes of soldier, or 5. Either 4 or 5. There are heavies.
There's 4.
There's heavy, sniper, support. Okay, so yeah, and assault, so it's 4.
Yeah.
The heavies carry around Gatling guns, which is pretty good, because those are really helpful. Snipers carry around sniper rifle. Assault can either carry around a assault rifle or shotgun. Their abilities lend themselves to shotguns a little bit better, but, you know, it depends on whether you want to get that close. Sometimes you don't want to get that close.
Right, exactly.
Especially once you're dealing with chrysalids. Because, oh my god. That's where the majority of my deaths come from. Remember that mission I mentioned that was all chrysalids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a survivor get to the evac zone, and even then, somehow he disappeared and died, even though he still had health and was still alive. I don't know. That was a bug, I guess. But that was like the only time I've ever had something weird like that happen. I'm guessing if I had somehow maybe had another soldier alive, that might not have happened. But I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Reload!
I would have if I had thought of that at the time. But no, I didn't. So I lost my entire squad on that mission, but somehow still accomplished the mission. And got the achievement for it. Had to start from scratch for my training, though, for a lot of my new soldiers. But yeah. So for the longest time, I didn't realize that I should have been researching weapons immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Once they threw those seriously large amounts of chrysalids at me, I was like, I need some higher damage weapons.
Yep.
Because that mission, I lost my highest ranked soldier at the time. And I was not happy about that. But considering the amount of chrysalids that they threw at you in that mission, which is never ending, because they just keep coming, I just sort of had to suck it up and say, whatever. I made the mission technically a success, even though everyone died. So, yeah. But it's a really, really fun. I'm really happy with the way they've done all the different systems. They did add 1 or 2 additions that make it way more difficult. but those don't pop up until like the mid-game-ish, I'm guessing. Which apparently I'm in now. And that would be Exalt.
Yes.
So Exalt is brand new for Enemy Within. And they are a human faction that sympathizes with the aliens trying to take over your world and kill everybody. Or at least kill quite a few people. So, a little misguided. So, of course, they decide to carry out military operations to disrupt your XCOM base operations. And that's another little layer that's fun. You actually build your base in an underground, cavern, essentially.
It looks very similar when you're at the base and building. It looks you get like a beehive ant,
it's like an ant hill.
Yeah.
Like an ant farm kind of side view.
That's what I was thinking of. Yes, ant farm. Yeah.
It's really interesting the way they do it, but the controller movements for getting around the base to the different areas is really simple. It's really intuitive. Sometimes the camera doesn't exactly work out in your favor during missions, because you have to kind of just rotate it in all the various directions sometimes to just see the best angle to look at stuff. But it works for how it is, because cameras are never easy in games. That's one of the toughest things to build in a game that's 3D, is a good camera. So I don't really fault them for that per se. I'm currently doing a bunch of covert missions to disrupt Exalt and try and find their base so I could shut them down for good. I also have the majority of tech unlocked at this point, I guess. I'm still researching some of the plasma weapons now at this point. I was kind of rushing through the missions and stuff at first, not really understanding that some of those council missions can be put off for a little bit of time before they disappear. And I kind of don't have to do every single one of them because they're so much tougher than normal missions. So now that I'm kind of powered up enough offensively and defensively, I can kind of pretty much take on anything. And as long as the computer doesn't get a random crit on somebody, I've kind of been in control of making sure everybody returns alive. So I think I finally have a small handle on this game. I think they finally introduced the last of the brand new enemies. Although seemingly there are some psychic enemies or something that they keep mentioning.
Yes.
So that might actually be the last one or two enemies that pop up. So I'm kind of afraid.
Yeah, that will become a thing, and you'll have to... That's kind of the end game.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
So I have this mission to... it's the overall goal at this point, to assault the enemy alien base or stronghold. Is that 3/4 of the way through the game or halfway through the game or something?
That's halfway.
Okay, so then I am about halfway, because I actually have the key that gets me into that base.
Oh no! Wait.
It's a hidden alien base that you get after interrogating some aliens that you capture.
Yeah, I guess that's halfway.
Okay.
Because you haven't had to deal with the psychic stuff yet, so.
Yeah. So I've been kind of holding off on that one because I'm I kind of want to deal with Exalt at this point, because now Exalt is sending out troops that they've genetically enhanced at me.
Right.
which is really annoying. Of course, now I have gene modding of my own to genetically modify my soldiers and add extra bonuses and extra abilities.
Yeah.
So that's another addition that they added for Enemy Within. You can genetically modify with a new item called Meld to enhance your soldiers' abilities. Or you can cut off all their limbs and cybernetically implant them inside robot bodies.
Yeah.
Which, at that point they lose all their current abilities, which is like, I don't know, maybe. Maybe I just do that for the achievement one time, but probably not gonna do that and keep them, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll do one. But they seem like they're supposed to be incredibly powerful. So maybe I'll actually want that. I don't know. But I just finally got plasma assault rifles unlocked, and now I'm researching plasma sniper rifles. So once I get that, I should have enough damage output that I can continue and maybe assault that enemy alien base once I've narrowed down where Exalt is hiding a little bit. But otherwise, I've just been trying to maintain world calm at this point. But Japan didn't exactly take too kindly to me sending up satellites, but then not actually being able to do much. So they sort of left. They left the council. Which, they give you a lot of money each month. So that was kind of an annoyance.
Yes.
I also had a satellite over their country at the time, which really did not help. So I wasted that satellite. Because that's another little metagame that you play, is throwing satellites up above the various, is it like 18 countries or something like that? I think.
There's 16.
There's 16 countries? Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, throwing them above the 16 countries that make up the XCOM Council. So that lets you intercept alien targets, trying to do abduction missions and UFOs that are flying around, which is another little mini game that they have in there, and that's shooting down UFOs. So there's just so many layers and so many things to do in this game, but they're all fun. Mm-hmm. I am very happy that I'm now playing it. And hearing that I'm pretty much about halfway through the game, I should be able to finish it up before Destiny 2 comes out, which is good. Because, Destiny 2 will take over my life once again. Alright. So I've just been enjoying the heck out of that. I don't know that I don't think I missed anything important. I think that's pretty much all there is to say about it. It's just really fun turn-based combat. It's backwards compatible now. Both versions, Enemy Within and Enemy Unknown. So no matter what version you have or get, you can play backwards compatible on Xbox One. So it's kind of nice having that backwards compatibility, huh?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Be nice if Sony understood that. I don't blame them, because the PS3 architecture is really stupidly complicated. So I don't blame them. But maybe going forward, PS4 games work on PS5, maybe? Be a good idea? Maybe?
Hopefully, yes.
Might be a good idea. Alright, so that's everything that I was playing. How about the game releases for the rest of the year, right?
Yep.
Alright, let's get to those releases. So, let's cover all the games that are coming soon for the rest of the year.
Yeah, so I have a list here of mostly 95% retail releases. There are a few digital ones specifically in August, mainly because I have dates for those, and there's no really list of dates for the digital releases, but we've got a list here, and we'll go through it. First off, this is all, that came out in August. So, let's start August 8th with, Batman Telltale Season 2 that I mentioned, earlier in the show.
I am really behind on game news because I didn't even realize they announced that there was a second season for that coming. Until you started talking about it on this episode, I didn't even realize that was announced.
It was announced at Comic-Con and then came out like 2 weeks later.
Okay. Well, that would explain why I didn't hear about it.
Well, they also announced...
Fast.
Okay, they also announced in 2018 Wolf Among Us Season 2.
That I heard about for some reason, and that was the only one I heard about. I don't know why I didn't hear about Batman.
Okay.
It was weird.
All right, Mega Man Legacy Collection 2 came out as well that day. So that is Mega Man 7, 8, 9, and 10.
Mm-hmm.
Hellblade came out on PS4 digitally.
I believe that has a subtitle too.
Yeah, Hellblade, I forget. Suna's Sacrifice, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that game seems really interesting.
Yeah, but then it was we didn't tell anybody about the permadeath. And then it's like, what? Mandatory permadeath, da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like, oh, never mind, lol. It's a troll. You can't actually permadie.
I have a feeling that was more because of the psychological implication of permadeath rather than the actual application.
And they didn't say that the permadeath, literally, I think Eurogamer's the permadeath's a lie. Watch our video of us dying 50 straight times at the beginning and don't lose the save. Or whatever, people went in and okay, let's see what happens if I die 50 straight times. Oh, nothing happened.
Yeah. So, yeah, kind of annoying that people broke that illusion, but I think that was what they were going for, was the illusion of this matters a lot. Yeah. Just like most choices in life.
Yeah. And then there was also a retail release of Cinemora EX.
I feel like I know that game from somewhere.
It's a scrolling shooter. It was originally on 360 and stuff.
Right. Okay.
All right, moving on. 15th had Agents of Mayhem. Sonic Mania digitally.
And holy moly, apparently Sonic Mania is actually good.
Yeah.
What? A Sonic game that's good? What is the world coming to?
Also that day was Undertale for PS4 and Vita.
Oh yeah.
Which we mentioned earlier. Also that day was Night Trap on PS4.
Oh, that game is bad.
Yep, but guess who owns one?
It's all nostalgia trip.
Well, and also guess who owns one of only 5,000 physical copies of that game?
I'm guessing that's you.
Yes, that was my first purchase from Limited Run Games.
Alrighty.
It's historically significant because
Yes, it is. It has a lot of significance in the history of video games because of the controversy of the violence in it, on top of the fact that it was a high-profile FMV game, but it wasn't very good.
Yeah. I mean, essentially, not completely, but Night Trap and Mortal Kombat are pretty much what caused the ESRB to exist. I mean, those were the primary couplets. Gaming Historian did a great has a great 30-minute, 40-minute synopsis of the Senate hearings from the early 90s on video game violence. And this is the 25th anniversary of Night Trap, so someone acquired the rights, redid it in high def for PS4, and then there was a physical copy, but they sold out in minutes.
Yeah.
So pretty much, unless you want to pay eBay scalper prices, you're going to have to buy the digital version now.
Yeah. And it's also available on PC. So.
Yes.
But man, that interface. Oof.
Yeah. Yeah, it's from another era, so.
Yeah, no, you could tell. But even the stuff that they redid, not exactly the best interface that they added in either.
Right. All right, moving on, City Skylines released on PS4. It had originally been on Xbox One, but now it's also on PS4. Physical copies of that game are exclusive to GameStop, so just beware of that.
All right. Yeah, apparently City Skylines was a really good Sim-esque game.
Yes. Yeah, if you were wanting Sim City, but not Sim City from a couple years ago, then you want City Skylines.
Yeah.
All right, Sudden Strike 4 also came out that day. And then on Friday the 18th, you had physical releases of World to the West, Rogue Stormers, and Zero Escape, Zero Time Dilemma.
What the heck are those first two games?
I don't know. The boxes are at GameStop, and I haven't looked at them.
All right. So now I'm intrigued. Now I have to go find out what those are after the show.
All right. Moving on to the 22nd, you had Madden NFL 18 GOAT Edition.
All right. What's with the GOAT?
Greatest of all time. It's a sports acronym.
Okay.
Because Tom Brady's on the cover. And Tom Brady is considered by many the greatest quarterback of all time.
Right. Yeah. They need to think their acronyms through a little bit better.
Oh, well, we'll get to the FIFA one in a bit.
All right. Anyway.
All right. Also, and to note, this is going to be a thing with the EA games this year, and this is all of EA's games this year, other than NBA, which we'll get to. The deluxe versions are $80 and come out on Tuesday. The standard vanilla versions are $60 and come out on Friday.
Well, that's not annoying or anything.
Oh, just, something to be aware of, so.
Yeah. And be pissed at if you're a consumer.
Well, you get extra stuff. The question is the extra stuff worth $20? Including
and multiple days.
Yeah.
I'm going to say no.
All right. Moving on.
Sounds like you have a little dog going crazy over there.
There's one outside. Yes, I'm on the second floor, but there is one outside below my window, so apologies for that.
It's fine. It adds personality.
Because we all know how much I love animals.
I know. I don't understand how you don't like them.
I didn't grow up with them, and they don't like me, so...
We gotta find you an animal that likes you. That'll show you the true joy of having an animal.
Alright. Moving on, Uncharted Lost Legacy came out on PS4 on the 22nd.
Yeah, apparently that's really good.
Yep. Another Uncharted game. Escapist 2, Battlefield 1 Revolution, which just consider this Battlefield 1 Ultimate. It's the game with the season pass. Wolfenstein 2-pack came out, so that is Wolfenstein The New Order and Old Blood.
Ah, okay.
And funny thing, that bundle is cheaper than buying both games used.
Okay.
At least at GameStop, so that's just kind of funny. And then on Friday the 25th, Madden 18 Vanilla came out. Also F1 2017 Day 1 Edition. And Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm Legacy.
And I believe that's a brand new game?
It's like a package. It's like a package of games. I think it's a package of.
Okay, so maybe it's all the Ninja Storm games.
Yeah, it's all the Ninja Storm games redone for PS4 and Xbox One.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
All right, moving on to the 29th. Mario, that's not cross, it's supposed to be plus. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle came out for Switch.
Yep, it's out now.
Yep. Pillars of Eternity Complete Edition came out, as did Windjammers for PS4 and Vita, digitally on Windjammers.
Right.
Then Resident Evil Revelations was ported to Xbox One, PS4. Ark Survival Evolved came out. Everybody's Golf, which is Hot Shots Golf, came out for PS4. Yakuza Kiwami, which is a remake port of one of the older Yakuza games, came out for PS4.
Yeah, it's the original Yakuza.
Okay.
So Yakuza 1.
Okay. Gotcha.
Basically, it takes place immediately not immediately following, but a couple years after Yakuza 0.
Gotcha. Okay. Dead Alliance came out, as did Warriors All-Stars. This is basically a Dynasty Warriors game, except it's got, Ninja Gaiden, etc. It's characters from the other Tecmo Koei games.
Right.
The Sexy Brutale came out on PS4. That is also
the physical version. Okay.
That is a GameStop exclusive.
For the physical version.
For the physical version, yes.
But the digital version has been out for a couple months.
Okay. Red Out came out, and Killing Floor 2 came out for Xbox One. Previously, and then a GameStop exclusive physical release on that as well.
Yeah.
And then on Thursday the 31st, digitally you get Life is Strange Before the Storm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to go back to that.
You're like the only person that I know that has, and that's fine. There's nothing, you didn't.
I mean, they wrapped up that story with Max and Chloe. I don't really need to go back to that.
Well,
to go back to a prequel of that. So
okay.
Maybe if everybody's ranting and raving how absolutely insanely good it is, maybe.
Okay.
But it's a big if.
You were not on the Life is Strange train.
It was good. More people needed to play it because of the story if they could get past that first episode. And it's a little bit of the second episode. Because there's a little bit, I think the beginning of the second episode was a little slow.
The junkyard scene is the worst part of the whole game.
But yeah. The very first section where you hit the junkyard.
Alright, moving on to September 5th, we have Knack 2 for PS4. Summon Night 6 Lost Borders for PS4.
Huh. I wonder if that's the same... Oh, no, because it's different spelling. So I guess it's not the same game.
Utaware Ramuno Mask of Truth for PS4 and Vita.
Okay.
And then on Wednesday the 6th, Destiny 2.
So, looking forward to that.
Alright, moving on to September 12th, we have Ease 8 Lacrimosa of Dana. I don't know if it's Dana or Donna for PS4 and Vita.
Okay.
I have the collector's edition of that coming directly from the publisher, of course. Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash for PS4. That may be physical exclusive to GameStop. I'm not 100% sure on that.
I don't see that on the list.
Well, GameStop's selling it. I know that.
Right. I don't see it on the list that you sent me.
Oh, sorry. That was originally on the... It got delayed a couple weeks. I think that's why I had to move the date. Because I was looking for something and it had a different date.
Okay.
It was originally, I think, supposed to be today, but it wasn't today. All right. VR carts coming out for PlayStation VR.
Okay.
Pro Evolution Soccer 2018. Yes, Konami still makes soccer games.
Yeah. It's one of the only games that they continue to make.
Yeah. Don't Starve Mega Pack for PS4.
All right. Combining, I'm guessing, the multiple versions of Don't Starve.
Well, I think it's Don't Starve, the console version, plus the expansion.
Right.
Just a physical copy of it.
There was also Don't Starve with Your Friends, and that was a separate game as well. So I'm wondering if it's both of those.
I'm not for sure. All right, Inside and Limbo Double Pack, NASCAR Heat 2, and this one's really weird. So we have the deluxe editions of NHL 18, but there is no physical release of them. They are only digital.
Huh. Weird.
Yeah. Baja Edge of Control HD, Blackguards 2, and The Pillars of the Earth.
All right.
And then we move to September 15th, Friday, NBA 2K18 for everyone, including Switch. NBA Live 18. Now, the interesting thing about NBA, this is EA trying to relaunch Live. If you pre-order it, the game is $40 or $40 minus your Amazon Best Buy discounts. But if you do not pre-order it, the game is $60.
Okay.
NHL 18 Vanilla also comes out that day, as does Dishonored Death of the Outsider, the standalone game set after the end of Dishonored 2.
Okay.
Moving to September 19th, you have Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
So, yeah, I've heard some minor mixed things now lately. It's like it's better than the demo, but still not quite there for the story mode kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Then The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus gets a physical PS4 release. Minecraft Story Mode Season 2 gets a physical release, but you'll have to download the episodes, just like last time, just like always on those. Raiden 5 Director's Cut for PS4. And then Friday the 22nd, you have Project Cars 2, Lego Ninjago Movie, and then Pokken Tournament DX and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, both for Switch.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2.
Yep.
Because that was kind of intensive visually. There was a lot of slowdown in that game on the big boy consoles.
Right.
So gonna be interested to see what that looks like on a Switch.
All right, moving on to the 26th, you have a Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition.
Finally, now I can get Fallout 4.
Danganronpa V3 for PS4 and Vita. Blue Reflection for PS4. And FIFA 18 Ronaldo edition.
Okay. I'm guessing that's a player?
Yes.
All right. Still not as weird as GOAT edition.
Oh, okay. I forgot. Okay, so I messed up. Summon Night is actually on. We're going to move to the releases for Friday the 29th or 20. Oh no. Okay, this is weird. So Wednesday the 27th is Summon Night 6 Lost Borders. So sorry, I had that on there twice. Right. I don't know why that's listed as a Wednesday. That's just weird. All right. Moving to September 29th, of course, the big one is the SNES Classic Edition.
Yup. And the final retail release of Star Fox 2.
Yep.
Of course, you have to be very lucky to actually get an NES Classic.
I got a pre-order.
Or SNES Classic.
Yep, I got a pre-order.
I didn't even know the pre-orders were going on until it was way too late.
Yep, I got one the day they went live in store at GameStop. Now I just have to acquire another one for a Christmas present for my cousin. But also that day, if you want something else, Forza Motorsport 7 Ultimate is for Xbox One, FIFA 18 Vanilla for everything, including Switch, and Gundam Versus for PS4.
All right.
October 3rd is Forza Motorsport 7 Vanilla for Xbox One. Batman Enemy Within Season 2 Season Pass disc for PS4.
And that's the Telltale game?
Yes. That's the disc release for Batman Enemy Within is the subtitle.
Okay.
Yes, that is the Telltale. Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen gets ported to PS4 and Xbox One.
There's a title I didn't think I'd hear anything about ever again.
Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition for PS4 and Vita. The Inner World, The Last Wind Monk. Outcast Second Contact. And Battle Chasers Night War.
Okay.
All right, moving to October 10th, the big one is Middle Earth Shadow of War.
Yes. And all of its lovely microtransaction-y goodness.
You know, there's also Cyber Dimension Neptunia 4 Goddesses Online for PS4, Raid World War II, and Tohu Kabuto 5 Burst Battle. And then moving to Friday the 13th, we have Friday the 13th physical release, The Evil Within 2, and WWE 2K18 Deluxe or the Cena Nuff Collector's Edition. No, I will not be getting that.
Oh boy. I didn't think the GOAT edition could be topped for absolutely bad title names, but there you go.
Yep. Leave it to WWE. When you have lowered expectations, they will go underneath.
Every year, my expectations for WWE games get lower and lower.
Well, speaking of which, October 17th, well, first we have South Park The Fractured But Whole.
Okay, well, there you go. Good game.
We also have WWE 2K18 Vanilla. Gran Turismo Sport for PS4. Elex, Axiom Verge physical release for PS4 and Vita. Dungeons 3, Rogue Trooper Redux, and Fire Emblem Warriors for Switch and 3DS.
Yep. If you just want to mash that attack button.
Don't you dare say yes. 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 Fire Emblem and Dynasty Warriors, all in. I'm all in. Push them to the middle.
Okay.
All right. October 24th. SingStar Celebration for PS4. Deer Hunter Reloaded. That's You. Knowledge is Power and Hidden Agenda, all for PS4. Those are Sony's, hey, it worked for Jackbox. These games you play with your cell phone series. They have some other name for it. I forget what it is, but
yeah,
they're essentially Jackbox games made by Sony Studios.
Right.
Knights of Azura.
Isn't there also Rapella Fishing?
Well, yes, I was going backwards because I lumped three of them together. I forgot to getting there. Knights of Azura 2, Bride of the New Moon for PS4, Rapala Fishing Pro Series. Just Dance 2018, Steven's favorite for everything.
Oh boy. It just won't stop.
Yomamari Midnight Shadows for PS4 and Vita, and then Road Rage. Supposedly. That thing's been delayed so many times, you know. As of recording, that's what it's listed at, but who knows?
I'm just surprised that there wasn't already a game called Road Rage.
Well, there is. Supposedly this is like the remake or something.
Alrighty.
From the 90s motorcycle combat game.
Well, there was one called Road Rash.
Okay.
From EA.
I think that's what this is. I think this is the remake, but without EA's blessing. Or something like that. It's been delayed so many times, it's probably not coming out, but that's the date it's set at as of right now.
Right. Okay.
Alright, and then Death Day, Friday the 27th, Super Mario Odyssey for Switch, Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, and Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, what is up with all these games not coming out on Tuesdays?
Because then it's a worldwide release with America and Europe and Asia all the same day.
Huh.
We're the only place that still does releases on Tuesdays.
I mean, I guess that makes sense, because then you can go home that weekend and play it.
Yes. The only reason, and you learn this by reading the wonderful book, oh gosh darn it, hold on, Console Wars. Because the first ever Street Day-to-Day game was Sonic 2. And the whole reason that it was on Tuesday was because back then, that's when they needed to, that's already when movies and stuff were coming out, and they needed that extra buffer to make sure shipping-wise it got there. But now shipping has improved to where they could be out on Friday, but the movie industry will never let video games release on Friday. Because that's when movies release in theaters.
Well, for the majority.
For the majority, yes. You know, Nintendo stuff comes out on Fridays, they don't care, but if everything was just Friday, the movie industry would throw a fit.
Oh, they're probably already throwing a fit, considering how badly they're doing lately.
Yeah. Moving on to October 31st, everything kind of clears out here. You do have Beast Quest, Demon Gaze 2, and Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back. Demon's Gaze, PS4 and Vita, Bubsy, PS4 and PC.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a good game. Who knows?
Yeah. And then on Friday, November 3rd, you have .hack GU Last Recode for PS4. Woohoo! Yay! And that's not sarcastic. That is a yay!
I mean, if it's good.
It's a remake of the PS2 GU series with an extra episode added in, with an extra game.
Oh, all right.
And also something called Call of Duty World War II is also that day.
Yes, I believe some little indie studio called Sledgehammer Games created that one.
Yeah. All right, moving on to November 7th, we have the release of the Xbox One X.
Yes, indeed.
You also have Need for Speed Payback Deluxe Edition.
Mm-hmm.
And then November 10th, you have Need for Speed Payback Vanilla.
Alrighty.
Moving on to the 14th, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2 Deluxe, Sims 4 Deluxe Party Edition, the 10th Anniversary Collector's Edition of BioShock, which is another Big Daddy statue. If you missed it originally, this is a GameStop 2K store exclusive.
Okay.
Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. And then on Friday the 17th, you have Star Wars Battlefront 2 Vanilla and Skyrim VR for PS4.
Alrighty.
All right, moving to 3DS only releases. September 8th is Monster Hunter Stories. September 15th is Metroid Samus Returns, which is the remake of Metroid 2. September 29th is Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters. October 3rd is Concept Revolt. October 6th is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga and Bowser's Minions. October 17th is Etrian Odyssey 5. And November 17th is Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Yeah, they're being really cagey with what exactly is supposed to be different story-wise.
Yeah. Moving on to Vita-only games. September 8th is Drive Girls. September, and that's a fighting game. I found that out.
Okay.
September 19th is Mary Skelter Nightmares. And then October 17th is Tokyo Tattoo Girls.
Also, what? Okay, what?
I don't know that one. So.
That one sounds like a fighting game.
I don't know. There are 4 games that were hinted to be in 2017, but they don't have solid dates yet. Doom VR or VFR for PS4. Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. That doesn't have a date yet. Tokyo Xanadu EX Plus. And Vampire from the makers of Life is Strange.
And that's with a Y instead of an IER.
Yes.
Or IRE.
That was originally VAMPYR.
Right. Instead of
VAMPIRE.
Yeah.
Originally that was supposed to be November of this year, but doesn't have a set date now.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
And there is your retail catalog for the rest of this year.
And I think that's going to do it for this episode.
Yep.
Because it's going to take a while to get all this compiled and edited together. So, don't forget to subscribe to the show through iTunes or the Groove Music Marketplace. Or wherever you get your podcast RSS feeds from. You can follow us on Facebook. Checkmate Arcade, 2 words. Just search for that and you will find us. You can follow us on Twitter at Checkmate Arcade, no spaces in between that one. Or you can follow us individually. You can find me at Dark Bossman, no spaces.
At MSU Hitman for me.
And if you're on the go, you can also find us on Stitcher Radio for your smartphone applications. Alright, so that's it for this episode, where I have been battling the enemy within. My name is Stephen Boss, the Dark Boss Man.
I'm so weak. Mutt broke me, and I have Prime, and I have Mutt to blame. I'm MSU Hitman Jason Billingsley.
Well, maybe we could put you back together again before it gets too late. Alright, and maybe we'll see you on live, PSN, and maybe even on the net.
Peace out, everybody.